does want a bit of attention. We'll set up so the forks go in between.
I'm just poised with the wire snips and...
Smashing little pond. Hi guys, thanks for tuning into our latest video. So this week we're off to site on the Agri-Forestry scheme, taking a load of stumps out, ready for knocking in for the fencing on there. We'll show you one of our little material handling techniques we've got. I think you should find that quite interesting. It's quite a budget alternative for moving stuff around on site if you've got front links on your tractor. Then we move over to site clearance, where we're taking our big nasty hedge out with our excavator and tree shears, which I'm about to show you. And then we have a demo on a massive chipper because we want to increase our chipping capacity going forward. And then I go off looking for a drain, which was a bit tricky, but we've worked a plan out now with a client on that site, so you can see a bit of investigation work that I'm doing on there. I wanted to quickly show you the tree shears. So these are a Scorpion set. So you can see these these areas, these open up here, the big blade opens up, and you grab the tree, these clamp round it, this cuts it off. So that's what's doing the cutting there, there's the cutting edge. They've also got, you'll see these rams here at the back. So on our excavator, we've got a separate service wired in so that we can operate that off the crowd ram. So that allows us to not only crowd the shears, but also twist them side to side. So you can do like compound cuts. It makes it really easy to get in tricky places when we're cutting those. So I hope you'll find those interesting. So I hope you really enjoyed the video. If you missed Wednesday's episode, that's predominantly about fencing, some really big safety techniques on there where Paul's knocking around a gas pipe, big high pressure gas pipe. So if you've not seen that, check out Wednesday's, and hope you enjoyed this video. So stay safe, catch you in a bit. New week, back on the Agri-Forestry job. It's like there's been a drought. We've not had rain now for ages. All right, heaven's open as we speak, I'm sure. Probably shouldn't be saying that, but we are being blessed at the moment with no rain. So I've got Paul's coming in now. Just brought stillage with him. In the Zizin. Tractor's round to go. Knocker 215 with a trailer full of posts. Gonna get them unloaded. Gonna get Hitachi moved to the next site because we've got a clearance job to do later in the week. So that's getting shifted from here. We're finished with that now. I'll show this stillage quickly. So we made this a while ago. It really wants painting or galvanising or something, but very, very simple. So you can stick it on the forks, and we've got space so it takes a pack of posts. You'll see that in a bit. We've got the whole forklift mast. These used to be like the material handler of the day, didn't they? Before everyone had a telehandler on the farm. So we dug this up out of a field, as you can see. He's found in a hedgerow in Oxfordshire. Does want a bit of attention, but just having that on the front links, dead useful. We put a pack of posts into the stillage, pick it up with the forks, whiz them out, so we're not taking trailers and messing around when we're taking the posts out. So it works dead well if you've got your posts where you want them, and then you can just handle them dead easy. Chuck those out, pick the posts up out of the stillage, back them up on the trailer, stick another pack of posts in there of a different size, whatever, up and going. So we're gonna get cracked on, knock your posts in, shift this digger. Lads are over on the other side of the site, planting that other field that we power harrowed that we were in last week. It's all good. Keep going. So hopefully you can see how easy it is there to unload the posts with this little forklift attachment. These always used to get used on the back of tractors, but with having front links now, it's kind of resurrected their use. It's miles easier than bringing a telehandler to site. The tractors are quicker, and it means we can carry the posts around whilst we're knocking at the same time. So you saw us unloading those. Just show you quickly, that stillage, got it all sort of set up. So the forks go in between, so you can drop the posts into the stillage, and obviously the forklift slots below, so you can pick it back up again. Just saves loads of time on site, unloading posts, moving them around. Like, dead chuffed with it. I mean, it's old kit, but it's working really well today in modern contracting.
Luke's brush piling it over the far side, ready for the chipper. As long as he's careful how he does it, which he is pretty damn careful. It's quite easy when you're moving the brash just to catch a pipe and then the whole day goes wrong. I have brought some spare pipes in the back of the truck just in case that scenario. But let's hope it doesn't happen. There's nothing much in this hedge that really challenges this machine today. But all this hawthorn and blackthorn and dog rose, this old hedging, it would be a nightmare by hand. Came with Andy to look at this job. He looked at it and I think he wanted to cry when he thought we were going to take this job on and do it by hand. I'm just poised with the wire snips in case there's too much barbed wire around just to cut out the trees. So yeah, quite an easy day so far for me. Chainsaw still in the boot.
So back on site where we were doing the tree shears a couple of days ago. We were back on here yesterday, just scraping the vegetation on the edge of that ditch. Come down on the new tractor on the 215. We've got one of our silage trailers, it's NC165013. It's a 13-ton trailer, I don't know, it seems to hold about the same as the 12 tons of some of the other makes, but she's been a good trailer, we like her. On air and oil, so air or oil. We're speccing everything trailer-wise we have now, we're having air on them. I think it's a safer job with these faster tractors, so that's good. Really quite like on this NC actually, I'll just show you this. The lock-in mechanism, it looks really positive. So, on the door ram coming down to this little rocker, and on that rocker there it just sort of locks in. So you have to lift the trailer. You also have to lift the trailer a little bit because there's a valve under there to stop before that'll activate, the back door will activate. So it's quite a good safety feature that you can't flick an electric spool by accident and suddenly open the back door or anything. So I think the whole little system seems quite well thought out. Anyway, that's the trailer. This is what today's problem is. So we've got all this old hedge material that we've sheared out, and Luke's made a nice job forwarding out into a windrow down here. So we're going to get that chipped up. Now, we run 2 forced 6-inch track chippers. Cutting all this sort of material, banging through a little chipper, it's just a mega headache. Lads are not going to thank us for getting everyone involved in doing that, snedding it up and getting that through little chippers. And we've also run that 12-inch Jensen PTO chipper, which is good, but again, it's still quite manual. So we've got today on hire, well, sort of a hire and demo type scenario. We've got Ben Price coming down from Ben Price Mus-Max specialists based over in Ludlow. So he's bringing with him a Mus-Max chipper, not quite sure what size it is. I should know, I don't know the model number, we'll see it when he gets here. He's going to come do us a demo with it, bang this lot through, and then we're going to make a decision of whether or not we're going to buy one of these big chippers with a crane on it. So quite interesting, quite exciting for us. I think it'll just take our chipping capability going forward and site clearance work, just make it a little bit easier than what we've currently got, the system we've currently got. Big investment again, if we decide to go with it, but I think when this turns up, looking at that pile of brash and how difficult that is to get through the smaller chippers, I think this big chipper's probably going to sell itself to us, to be fair. But we'll see. The jury is still out yet until we've seen what it can do.
Let's see how Richie gets on here now. I had a go first. Made short work of it, no damages. Let's see how Richie gets on. It is very similar. It's exactly the same as obviously on the crane trailer. So it's the same process. It's just getting used to different controls and a different tractor, really. It's like all this brash, almost less is more. The machine will take it, but you just fight with it at the chipper, at the actual entrance. So you might as well just be more selective when you're with the grab. banger it pretty quickly.
Just brought the wood chip down that we just chipped up off that clearance site that Ben came down to demo the chipper on, and you see now that was with the G30 screening, so even though it was quite brushy material, this made a really nice quality chip, so I'm really pleased with that. We brought this and tipped it on the Agri-Forestry site. All the trees are planted now, there's a little bit of guarding up left to do. So with that chip, when we do the pond clearance of the day, we'll bring one of our little chippers down and chip this lot up, and that can all go into the same pile, and then the client's going to use the wood chip to go around and mulch around all the trees to try and reduce the amount of spraying they need to do, so retain a bit of moisture in the ground, suppress the weeds. So yeah, hopefully that'll be enough chip for him. If not, we can drop another load off. But that'll keep him going and keep him busy for a while with a barrow. So back to the yard now and see what he's doing next. Just heading over to meet a client now. They've got a bit of a drainage issue. They dug a couple of ponds out on a field that they're creating a habitat area in a couple of years ago, and then ever since, increasingly the field's got wetter and wetter. So I'm suspecting that one of the drains got taken out when the pond was created, and that's just stopping water exiting the site. So that's only speculation, but that's my best guess at the moment. I mean, it could be a collapsed drain somewhere else, but it's all in pasture. There's not been a lot of heavy work on the field since. So we're going to pop over now. There's the wife walking the dog in the sunshine. Give her a wave. So we'll meet over there now, have a little look, see what we can work the problem out. We're on site now. So today we brought the little Volvo EC27, got the ditching bucket on, and 600 digging bucket with us. So the problem on this site, the clients asked us to come down and investigate for them. You can see across here where the water's lying. We've not had any rain now for nearly 2 weeks. Really wet down this track. Smashing little pond, but it's right in this low section that runs across, and over in the distance down there towards the trees is the river. You see where this pond now is, it's just overflowing down this fold in the land. So I'm pretty sure when the pond was dug out, a land drain is more than likely going to go through this section. I was trying to think about what the old boys did. This has obviously been farmed for hundreds of years. You know, this low part is where the drain's going to be put, isn't it? It's going to follow that contour of the land. Easiest, path of least resistance for digging. When you're digging these drains in with a spade all them years ago, you weren't digging through hillsides unless you needed to. So we've just got down to the other end of the field. We've tracked down. There's an electric fence running across this gateway down to where we've got to get through. Now, Hannah assures me that the electric fence is turned off, but I'm not that I don't trust you. But we'll try with the grass first, eh? Oh, fair dues, it's turned off. Just checking. Anyway, I'll show you what we're this other end of the problem. So down here, what I believe is where the pipe comes out from up near that little pond that we looked at earlier, where that wet hole is. There's a little bit of water flowing in there. You might be able to see, but there's a little bit of water flowing there. And there's also quite a lot of that red car, so that's sort of red iron deposits. It's like a orangey brown slime. I think it's a bacteria that feeds off the iron that's in the water content. Generally get it on really sandy sites and sandy soils. Sometimes you'll just see that little bit of brown, orangey brown tinge coming out of a bank, and it's a good indication of where a drain is. So we'll clear that out. You can see there's like an open ditch that runs from where that drain comes in, all the way around, along down to this little pond. show you this. That was totally unsuccessful so far. You can see here, so we've gone down about 6 foot. You see how the trench is all starting to collapse? This is why when you're doing this sort of drainage and digging, you've got to be so careful. You don't want to be anywhere near the bottom of these trenches. Obviously we're safe up in the machine, but you imagine being down there, that big piece of soil, that big side of the bank there that's come in, you know, there'll be a ton there. Just take the wind out of you and that's game over, isn't it? No one will ever find you. So yeah, dead careful when you're digging this sort of stuff. There's got to be a drain under here somewhere. I can't believe it's any deeper than that. We're into that shale layer below. I'd expect to see it probably up in that, just to the bottom of that, you know, bottom of that clay layer, where the drain would be. It's got to be here somewhere. So I'll have to dig it back behind me now. Just keep going until we hopefully find it. I mean, it's got to be here somewhere. Right, so far, all I managed to find is the remnants of an old horseshoe drain. So I'll just show you this. You can see part of the drain here that's, I think the pipe's twisted sideways, it's full of sediment. There's a piece here, completely full of sand. So that's not been running for a long, long time. It's quite a shallow drain, so it goes through to there, all still completely blocked. So these old horseshoes are a very simple old pipe. Before they could make full solid pipes, you can see they're called horseshoes because of the shape. The clay was formed just in this horseshoe shape, you can see there, and they put those down obviously flat in the bottom of the trench like that to form the drain. Quite often in soft ground they put like little wooden pegs, alder or oak, sit them on there so that the bottoms of the pipe didn't sink. But that's not the drain that we're looking for. That's been redundant for a long, long time. The depth that that's at now is probably only, you see it there, from the surface there, we're probably what, 1 foot 18 inches. So one of the big problems of, obviously technology's moved on and machinery's moved on a long way since those old drains were put in. Heavier kit, deeper subsoiling and that sort of stuff. Obviously sees the demise of a lot of those sort of old drains. So I don't think that's what we're looking for. It's certainly of no use to us. The pipe going that way is obviously blocked up. We can't use that as an overflow for the pond. So we've got to hope that there's a newer drain that supersedes that one somewhere under here. So we'll just keep digging back another few yards, go a little bit deeper on this section, and just see if we can find a more modern drain that we can utilise. If not, then it may be having to run a whole new pipe down to that ditch, which would be a real shame. It's a lot more work, and there's a little tree plantation in the way now as well, so we'll just keep digging and see if we can find any more evidence. Well, we're through the low spot in the field now, and there's nothing other than that one horseshoe drain we found. I think if we're going to find it, this is where the drain would be, through this low flush in the field where the land folds down. It's a real shame. You know, we were high hopes that we're going to find a drain running through here, and there's just no sign of it. So we've got that little horseshoe. So I'm guessing that pipe that's popping out into that ditch that we cleared out at the start is just, you know, it's still sucking some water out of these banks. It must be flowing. Well, it's obviously flowing, but maybe slightly more freely in another part of the site. That's a damn shame. So I think the two options we've got now, this is a habitat area, is either we come back with a bigger digger and dig a ditch and all the way through this fold and drop that into there, or if they prefer, pipe it, stick a new pipe back down to that ditch that will control the water on this pond. But sadly, finding a drain in here that we can link into and try and solve these problems isn't happening. So back to the client, back to the drawing board. I'll fill all this in and see what we want to do, how we want to progress it next.